Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk about probabilities involving two dice. So in the directions, it talks about having a fair number cube with the numbers painted 1 to 6. And so that's just a dice. So if we're having two dice, then we're rolling two dice, then we have to consider what we get on the first roll and then what we get on the second roll. And when you look in Alex, it sets those up like this, and it says, okay, well, if I roll a 1 on the first roll, then I roll a 1 on the second roll, and then it talks about them in terms of sums. So if it talks about in terms of sums, what they're doing is adding up the two rolls and getting the sum of those two rolls. So it would be helpful if you made a table, and in this table you denoted, okay, so here is my first dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have, 6 numbers on that first dice, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of running out of room there, huh? 5, 6, and so here's my second dice. So then what I'll do is I'll make a grid, and inside of this grid I will put my sums. So if I rolled a 1 and then a 1, I'm adding those because that's what sum means. So I get a 2, and 1 and 2 makes 3, and 1 and 3 makes 4, and 1 and 4 makes 5, and 1 and 5, 6, and you can see the pattern. 2 and 1 makes 3, 2 and 2 makes 4, and then you can complete your table really quickly. 3 and 1 makes 4, and then you can fill in that row. Then this would be 5, and then this would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 6 and 1 makes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So if I roll the two dice, the highest sum I can get is 12, and the lowest sum that I can get is 2. Okay? And then you've got all these different sums in here. So you have two separate problems. You have an event A and an event B. So for event A, the sum is greater than 7. So we want to look for sums that are greater than 7. So we're looking for sums that are 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. So if this is a 6 by 6 grid, then the total sums is 36 because there's 36 of these in here. So this 36 will be my denominator each time because there are 36 different sums. Okay, so I just have to count up how many 8s, how many 9s, 10s, 11s, and 12s. And that will tell me how many are greater than 7. So I count my 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I had 15 sums that were greater than 8 out of 36. Now, if you'll notice, it says write your answers as exact fractions, but typically we want to simplify. So we can simplify this with dividing by 3, and 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 36 divided by 3 is 12. So there are 5/12 of these sums that are greater than 7, or I have a 5 out of 12 chance of getting a sum that's greater than 7. Okay, so let's look at event B. Event B says I want my sum to be an odd number. So you have to know the definition of odd number. So our odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. So we would take the row of 3, that diagonal 5, the 7, the 9, and the 11, and we count those. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. there are 18 odd sums out of the 36 sums. And those were the sum of 3, the sum of 5, the sum of 7, the sum of 9, the sum of 11. Okay, so I just added those up and I got 18. So now I'm going to simplify. I'll divide by 18. 18 divided by 18 is 1, and 36 divided by 18 is 2. So half of the numbers are odd. So that tells me the other half's even, but half the numbers are odd. So that is probabilities involving 2 dice.